Ladies and gentlemen, I repeat, ladies and gentlemen, you know why I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, you know why I'm here. The boy, Drake, just dropped that response. Ladies and gentlemen, the boy, Drake. He just dropped that response, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Now, Kendrick Lamar loyalists. I have an official report. From the Kendrick Lamar loyalists.
Got him. We fucking got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I asked the question. I don't know how one responds. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how one responds. And Drake opened up the track with making sure, might I add, Drake opens up the track with making sure he says nigga the right way.
That's got to be racist. There's no way.
Ladies and gentlemen, he opens up the track with making sure he says nigga the right way. And I ain't never heard an A with an emphasis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Lamar loyalists, you're in a safe place. And we'll get back to it. But A$AP Rocky, Rick Ross, all 19 of y'all other niggas, just apologize. Apologize.
Sorry, bro.
Apologize. Because he came with that flame for you boys. The visuals were immaculate. I like the fact that he upped the energy, right? He matched the energy, right? With, I think, 3 to 4 beat switches on the track. Came with visuals, right? Nice, entertaining. I get it. But ladies and gentlemen, before we hop into the track, it's just a few things I want to throw out there. Just a few things I want to throw out there. The main event is Kendrick and Drake. I get it. Everybody else chimed in. Everybody else said what they had to say, and you had to address them. Give them the first 30 seconds and then get back to business. I'm going to be real with you. We know that they can't stand next to you. This isn't about number 2 versus all of those ranked 50 pound for pound guys. We're not talking about them. Right? We're talking about the head honchos. We're talking about the modern day Mount Rushmore. We're talking about number 1 and number 2 competing for the top spot, ladies and gentlemen. That is what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're talking about, okay? And, you know, it was mentioned earlier. I think it was on the Funk Flex and Ebro conversation about who's in the lead right now regarding the rap beef. And one of the things, I believe it was Ebro who mentioned it relative to the Jay-Z and Nas beef was, oh no, matter of fact, it was Dame Dash. Dame Dash was on a podcast recently. I forgot the name of it. He was getting his hair cut. Just look up Dame Dash chimes in on beef. You'll find it. Getting his hair cut. And he mentioned that while a lot of people feel like Nas won the beef with Ether, when you really look at the subject matter of what Nas was saying, none of it was true. It was just entertaining. None of it was true. It was just entertaining. And while some or all of what Drake is saying could be true, a lot of it seems like a reach. 100% of it seems like a reach to attract attention and to get people on his side. I understand it. But ladies and gentlemen, Kendrick Lamar loyalists.
Got him. We fucking got him. Got him. We fucking got him.
Listen, I told you, I don't know how one responds outside of giving into the very nature of what has been questioned about Drake. And there's been one aspect of this conversation. There's been one aspect of so many individuals' response to the Drake beef. There's been so many responses or a particular response to the Drake beef. But we got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. We got a caller, ladies and gentlemen. Live on the pod, ladies and gentlemen. We're tuning in. What you got to say?
Hey.
What you got to say?
I think Dot just dropped 2.
What? What?
Dot just dropped, bro. Academics on live right now playing some new Dot shit.
What?
He said Drake got a baby girl.
We're live on the pod and we got confirmation that.
Listen, bro.
What the fuck is happening? What the fuck?
He talking to Drake. He's supposed to be talking to Drake. I guess Drake's hidden daughter that he got.
What the fuck is happening? I don't think anybody has this audio. What the fuck is happening?
I don't know. This shit gives me chills.
Hey, bruh. Hey, look. Let me give you my quick on let me give you my quick on Drake. And I said it already in the opening, ladies and gentlemen. For all you out there listening live on stream, listen. I want to apologize first for the redundancy, but I gotta talk to my boy here. Listen, man. Listen, it ain't safe for all 19 of them other niggas. It ain't safe. Them 19 other niggas, it ain't safe for them. They need to apologize. All them other 19 niggas, the Rihanna bar was crazy. Cause I didn't even know why ASAP stepped out there like that. I was like, bruh, you already know, like, just chill, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And then I respect him addressing Future off the humble. I will say it ain't really no real animosity. Future was kind of pulled into that. I respect the way that he handled that. Yeah. I liked the visuals. I think that amped up another nature of the dynamic here. You know, I think that while he responded with a multi-beat response, I think it's challenging Kendrick to now show your face on a video or something like that. So I like that.
Yeah, and it's a sport too.
Exactly.
You can't just it ain't just play the top of the key and turn around J nigga. We need an AI fadeaway and a crossover or something.
Facts.
If you really think if you really want to win this battle, them bars only gonna take you but so far.
Well,
that's a fucking layup, nigga. We want you to put it between the legs and slam dunk that motherfucker.
Well, I think I get that, but I think the bars is metaphorically how you do that. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Drake is he's really spicing things up, I will say. Now, I was listening, and I was mentioning this before you called me. I was listening to a Dame Dash podcast that was released earlier this week where he was talking about the Nas and Jay-Z beef and how a lot of people thought that Nas won that beef and a lot of people still to this day believe that Nas won that beef, right? But because of the reaction that he got from all of the songs that he released. But the reality is a lot of what Nas was saying wasn't real. It was just to gain a wow factor or a reaction, right? So, I mean, one thing I'll say, like, quite honestly, about a lot of what he had to say about Kendrick regarding his wife, which I think was the biggest of what he had to say. I mean, I can't say that it's false because I don't know what's true. You know what I'm saying? There has to be something, I think, close to, like, I think there has to have been something between, like, that happened that I guess he's alluding to. But I mean, I think that it was probably just a relationship spat that might have happened in public and whatever. And now you're blowing it out of proportion. But I mean, to say that he hit a woman and, you know, he beats his wife.
That's a hell of an allegation, bro.
It's a hell of an allegation to say a man beats his woman. You know what I'm saying? And again, if it's true, well, boom, that's a real trump card. Like, I mean, you kind of take away from this black excellence that this man stands. Like, you take away from that pillar that he stands on. Now, at the same time, I will say, when it comes to rapping, what you doing on wax, everything Kendrick does ages with time, and it's throwing the internet into spirals. This man crashed Genius today. He crashed Genius's web servers of everyone trying to just read his lyrics. Now, is Drake going to do that? No. But I think what Drake does and what he brings to this is what he just did on this song. But it's just, I don't know how much further Drake can go with this without actually getting lyrical. And a part of it also that people have to consider is that initial part of this response he released with his push-ups track. So he already had something ready, and then he added some other stuff to it, I think most recently. So, I mean, I think at some point,
even with that PG joint, he was still throwing jabs back to shit that Kendrick said this week. So
exactly.
Is it really all the way done?
Exactly. And so yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He added something to it, but at the same time, it was very short. It was lyrically limited. And what I'm saying is at some point, because this is why people are going to respond and they're going to say that this didn't do anything in terms of matching Kendrick's energy. This is the reason why people are going to say this, is because we're talking about rap, and rap at its highest level is lyrical and appealing. And Drake he has to step in that arena as best he can. And I think that this track buys him time, but he has to step in the arena of giving us wow bars, especially coming from Wayne's camp as well. It's like, you should be able to do it. Have we ever gotten it from Drake? Yes, to some degree, but in the nature of competition, no. So at some point he has to prove that he can step.
I'm not hearing what everybody else is hearing, bro. I am for what Drake is proving right now. And I feel like he's proven that he could go blow for blow with who some may call the best of the best. And I feel like the fact that he has been able to make songs for the clubs and make songs for people that want to hear his music year after year with consistency and not taking a break, and still come out and throw blows with everybody and then go back and forth with Kendrick week after week. I feel like he's really it's more than just standing your ground. It's like, nigga, I'm right here at the top of the hill. You gonna have to come up here and get me.
Yeah.
Kendrick is trying to come get him, but he ain't about to walk down that hill. He is not about to walk down that hill. He's standing tall for real. From what I see from that video with that bang and that, bro, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
And to put it into perspective, again, this is why I say rap at its highest level is lyrical and appealing. And I think the way that Drake can truly win this is he has to step on that level. He has to match that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, that's why Kendrick has the lead. Because Kendrick just dropped a diss track. Deep diving his initial diss track. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of, outside of the "you beat your wife" claim, which is a very serious claim, the only other thing that Drake falls on is this social media perception of Kendrick Lamar's track. And a lot of people are responding to that track saying that Kendrick brought up a racial statement, but his wife is biracial. He said nothing racial. Like, listen to the song. He's referencing culture. Right? Black is a culture, right? Like being an African American is a culture that a person who grew up in Canada is not accustomed to, and we're all aware of the fact that with evidence from Wayne himself that Drake's persona, that aligns with this nature of African American Black culture is somewhat of a facade or something that was put on that he learned previous or following Take Care, might even, you know what I'm saying, maybe even. So it's just like, I'm not saying that Drake isn't a great artist, isn't great at what he does, and I think that he's doing whatever he does to a great degree right now. But what I'm saying, and even with this recent diss track, I mean the whole concept, the whole idea of it, while some can say he has ghostwriters and he may not have thinking of it by himself, he's in the room and he's there and he's executive producing everything. So I give him his kudos in that regard. But the only way you win a competition is by turning one's fans against them and cornering them and putting their backs against the wall. Drake put Kendrick fans back against the wall when he dropped 2 diss tracks, and we ain't hear shit from Kendrick. But then Kendrick responds with 2 diss tracks in a 6-minute, and since the day that it dropped, it's getting more and more and more and more listenable, viable. It's on platforms. It's the #1 song. So it's like Kendrick is killing you at your own game right now. So you have to kill Kendrick. You have to now kill Kendrick at his own game. You got to get lyrical, in my opinion.
I feel like they're coming for Drake and he's defending himself. You get what I'm saying? I feel like it's more so he's just showing like this ain't going to be no sweet chicken. Do he really got something to prove? Do he really have something to prove as far as an artist?
Yes.
We can keep banging. We could keep. You say yes?
When your cultural legitimacy is in question, you have something to prove.
How is it in question though?
His cultural legitimacy is in question.
And that's the thing that people people ignoring the fact that we know where Drake comes from. We been knew where Drake came from.
Exactly.
We knew he was wheelchair Jimmy on Degrassi.
Exactly.
We knew he was Jewish.
We know that, but the question is, does Drake know that? The question is,
why wouldn't he know that? One of his videos, he was having the bar mitzvah.
Exactly. But again, the point is how are you posturing against Kenny with a diss track opening up like, I know CB, YG really banging, right? Really banging. Yeah. But it's as if you don't truly understand the gang culture in LA. Like niggas are banging by association, just off neighborhood shit. And then you're using a person's own song or message in someone's own song against them. Like you're saying, oh, Top robbed your daddy. Now it's like you didn't really get the story that he was telling on that album. You know what I'm saying? And to the point of the basis of the racial lines, which you spent a lot of this song addressing, you missed the point of that. Like he never mentioned or talked about race. It was all about culture. It was all about you not aligning with this culture, you putting on a mask for this culture. You know what I'm saying? And so when you say that we already know that, Drake is stepping into an arena calling himself the best at something culturally he doesn't originally align with. He's never actually really given a fuck about in many core hip hop fans' opinion. You know what I'm saying? And many could argue when it comes to cap and rap, he could be the leader of it. So that's that's.
He will never be enough to the hip hop heads that love lyricism. And I feel like he is okay with that because he know it for him it's about hits. Mm-hmm. And he's been a lyricist in his early time. We don't sit here and talk about people that don't make good music and don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like
that's a fact.
I feel like we're not giving cuz we're never going to give. People aren't going to give Cuz his credit because they love Kendrick that much.
But my thing about that is, and you mentioned it on note. You said he gave us lyrical stuff before. You're in an arena where that is what you could use to win this, and we ain't get it yet. And then we go back to the ghostwriting allegations earlier in the career. Was that really you, Drake, or was that somebody else in the room? Because you know what I mean. So it's just like, if you got it, put it on, because you can't dance with this shock value stuff in the next round. Your next diss track has to be lyrical. It has to back Kendrick fans against the wall. And he has yet to do that previous to an initial response from Kendrick.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Say Kendrick's back was against the curb. I don't know if anybody caught that. He said Kendrick's back was against the curb. Pretty fucking clever. He said, I know you like to keep it short, so let me go ahead and paraphrase.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Denzel Washington.
It's not color, it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're
Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List. Mm-hmm. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? I'm gonna hit you, bro. Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Okay. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List, but there are cultural differences. You know, I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. Huh? That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference. Right. So it's the culture.
You know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a Drake stand on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a Drake stand on the line. We just want to hear what you have, because from the Kendrick Lamar delegation,
Got him. We fucking got him.
Niggas stop playing with y'all niggas, man. He's not playing.
Who? What was that again?
Drake is not playing with y'all niggas. He's fed up. That's all I have to say about the situation, okay? He's not taking no prisoners no more. He said, y'all keep calling him light skin. Y'all coming for his character. Like, it's too much, you know? He had to give you some bars real quick and let you know what's good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a whole lot of cap in those raps, though. It's a whole lot of cap in those raps. I'm just saying, man. Whole lot.
He can't never get his props. That's all I'm asking.
Listen, I think. Listen, we've explained this already, and I think that individuals just have to understand that Drake is a great artist, but we're in the arena of competition. We don't care that your name is LeBron James and you're the most popular player on the face of the earth. What matters is when you step on the court, who are you? Are you that man crying for foul calls, or are you that man that can't nobody guard?
So you saying niggas don't love LeBron?
I ain't saying niggas don't love LeBron, but I'm asking you, who are you on the court? What do we see? And what I'm saying is right now we got a diss track that, in my personal opinion, addressed the public response and not Kendrick's response. As a true artist, you gotta listen to your opponent and dissect your opponent. Drake responded to the public. He did not respond to Kendrick. Now, as mentioned, when it comes to those 19 other niggas, ASAP Rocky, all them other niggas, get on your knees and pray and ask for forgiveness, because y'all are toast. Y'all are toast. But when it comes to Kendrick, K. Dot, that man, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I as an orator of the competition, I'm objective to it. While I'm a fan of Kendrick and what Kendrick has done so far has been amazing. In order for Drake to turn the tables on this competition, he has to get lyrical. And he did this bar he mentioned, K, that's a baby K, don't let that go over your head. Short bar, like these repeated short bar. It's like, all right, we get it already, but you got to give us something. Listen to me. He dropped bars. A lot of it was shock value, but here's the difference. Talk to me in 24 hours when people are still breaking these things down, because they're not going to be. It was very surface level. It's like, I got it the first time. Okay,
but what we're not saying, I would agree with you there. But Kendrick and Drake are two different types of rappers. We know that. We're not debating that.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Kendrick is going to give you the
exactly.
bars that you got to, like, you know, the smart people bars. That's fine.
And let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Analogy here.
Okay.
Allen Iverson is going to give you one of the nastiest crossovers ever. He's going to put people on highlights. But Michael Jordan is going to do what he does so great that it equates to championship rings, and he doesn't miss the mark. And so when we're talking about the domain of rap at its highest level is lyrical and appealing. Rap at its highest level is lyrical and appealing.
Okay.
And Drake's lyricism in this case, while the ball was in his court, was very limited because of the surface area that Kendrick Lamar came with. It's not too many angles he can come at with this besides shock value. So it's like, in order for you to truly outmatch your opponent. You have to be better at what he does. And we've gotten that from Kendrick. He can't say shit about charts. He can't say shit about Grammys. He can't say shit about everything. Drake totes himself. Everything Drake totes himself on. Money, fame, popularity, all this stuff. The most important element of the trio, respect. You're lacking it. You don't have it. People do not respect you as a rapper. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to, you know what I'm saying? They don't give you your due respect. And I think that this is the perfect arena for Drake to go after that and prove it to everyone. But with all of these hearsay shock value bars that quite honestly just aren't true. And I'm just saying, listen.
Your first point, you said lyrical and appealing, correct?
Yeah, I can't say whether or not it's right, is true or not, right? I mean that Kendrick Lamar beats his wife. That's a strong statement though. Like Kendrick Lamar beats his wife and that one of his kids is Dave Freeze. Like, shut the fuck. Did you look at them kids? Have you seen them kids? Have you seen them kids? Both of them motherfuckers look like Kendrick Lamar, and both of them kids look smack like Kendrick. Do you know what Dave Free looks like? Both of them kids look smack like Kendrick Lamar, and the son done reached his half height already. I'm just saying, let's be real about this shit. Like, you're just saying shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's my issue. Like, again, it brings us back to the Nas and Jay-Z beef. Nas said a lot of shit that was just false and that got attention from people. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't true. So you gonna give him the win because everybody said all when he spoke? Or are you gonna give somebody the win because they saying real shit and at the same time, like, they really putting shit into perspective? Like, Drake did nothing but respond as best he could to the public opinion of Kendrick's response. But he did nothing to take the conversation further besides give Kendrick Lamar more of a leg to stand on. As mentioned previously, right? Don't tell lies on me and I won't tell the truth about you.
Nigga, this nigga.
Did you not hear Kendrick Lamar's response? Because he dropped one already. Talking about how I'm talking about a response to Drake's recent response.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Like 23 minutes ago.
Talking about he got an illegitimate daughter out there. Yeah. Talking about, he said you talking about more life. He said you talking about more life, but you won't let your daughter live. Damn.
And I'm not gonna sit up here and say that Drake is more lyrical. I've never said that. I'm not saying I can never say he's more lyrical than Kendrick Lamar. But at the end of the day, if like what you said, going based off of what you only said, I can't even remember the two words you just said because your ass kept cutting me off. But nigga, if we're talking about if Drake can say these shits to fucking Kendrick, period. You said he can't talk about charts with Kendrick? Are you fucking kidding me? What? Like, yes, Kendrick has done his big one. You know, he made it out. Cool. One of the few rappers that rap like him that has done it. I'll give him his props. But we can't just disown the fact that Drake does. And he's not. And Drake, to even more of his credit, yes, he is not a full-blown rapper. He is not that. And I don't think he has ever tried to portray that either, which makes it even better that this nigga can sit in the same rooms with some of these niggas. Like, it's insane. That's all I'm saying.
So before I let you go, I just have one question. Before I let you go, I just got one question. Have you ever heard anyone in your life enunciate the A at the end of nigga like Drake did at the top of that song?
That's got to be racist. There's no way. I'm going to just keep it real. There's no way that.
All right. Another Drake stand. Out of there. Another Drake stand out of there, ladies and gentlemen. Another Drake stand
Got
out of
him.
there.
We fucking got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned previously, I really don't believe that this beef is about Kendrick and Drake, but let's enjoy it for the moment. I believe many of you, some of you have had the opportunity to hear what I had to say in that regard. I mean, I think it's really about putting hip-hop into perspective and to really show the future generation what it means to really carry that torch. And no matter who comes out on top, both of these artists, you know, you gotta give them theirs. You gotta give them their flowers. You gotta thank them. You gotta thank them for their participation, because without them, we wouldn't have one of the best years for hip hop, for rap we've ever seen. And ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just getting started, man. And I look forward to where this goes. Man, to get pre-famous Kendrick, to get pre-famous Drake, like type of music production, availability, in such a time where, you know, we thought that these guys were at the end of their careers, man, it's a beautiful sight. I hope they come out and at the end of this and make music together. I'm gonna be real with you. And I don't need Jay Prince in the room because that shit's getting old. But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But you know, before I let you go, ladies and gentlemen, I did want to address that last point that I mentioned. You heard me mention, with this Drake response, and the reason why I personally feel like Drake's still on top. I'm sorry, Kendrick is still on top. Right? And relative to this recent Drake response, Kendrick is still on top. Kendrick is still on top. You see, Drake, as mentioned, he responded to the public perception of euphoria. Kendrick Lamar's diss. He responded to the public perception of euphoria. He didn't respond to Kendrick Lamar. Right? All of these conversations about race and your wife's biracial, he never mentioned race in euphoria. Go back and listen. Go back and listen. His allusion to you not thinking you're black enough is relative to culture. It's relative to culture. Would Kendrick say that about his own wife? If he's talking about a regular biracial individual? No. No, not that she's an individual that probably attempts to blend in with a certain culture that she may not have been originally aligned with in terms of their upbringing and culture that they come from. But still, when it comes to this response, it's a lot of lures. It's a lot of could be. It's a lot of shock value, but nothing that, I mean, that we could point to as an actual fact, right? Maybe someone has a source for information that will prove the fact that there is some level of abuse, right? Even in stating that you got proposed in 2016, but you ain't had a marriage since, right? And I quite frankly recall that they had a secret wedding. I'm unsure, but you know, because even when you look at the album, she has a ring on her finger, but I guess that's an engagement ring. We don't know. I can't give him the benefit, right? Just being objective here. But again, I mean, if those things are true, I think that they knock Kendrick Lamar off his pedestal. They take away from how he is valued and personified. Yes, and it does make some of his music illegitimate. It does make some of his stances and what he stands for and what he means to the community of hip hop. It takes away from that if it's true. But if it's not, and all you're doing is talking about lies and stuff that you heard, it only makes you more of the nigga talking like bitches these days, like you mentioned, right? You hearing anything from anybody trying to collect any bit of information just to say something about something. And I mean, I'm not going to deny the fact that it might have come from a situation where maybe they had a verbal dispute with one another where somebody probably caught on to it and somebody made it seem like some type of abuse, which every goddamn couple in the world, probably every goddamn couple in the world with 2 or more years together has gotten into at some point, right? But it's and it is kind of funny when a person who's not in a relationship and has a bunch of broken relationships and tends to have relationships with a person that doesn't match their own maturity, let's just say, has a lot to say about a person actually in a relationship with the person that they have kids with and building a family with. And not to say that Drake isn't building a family with his ex-porn star baby mom, but you know, maybe he ain't hiding. Maybe you know, he's not hiding the world from his relationship. He's hiding the relationship, or he's not hiding his relationship with the world. He's hiding the world from his relationship. I don't know. But again, like, he said a lot in his track. I think Drake sometimes, I think some of what was mentioned was a little bit too revealing. Like, you know, just on a level of like celebrity knowledge, like why you moved to New York and, you know, all this other stuff, like telling us where this person lives at and all this stuff. Like, it's just, it is a little bit crazy, even though he moved to New York, as mentioned recently, to further his PG Lang label and its collaborations, based on what was mentioned when it was established. But yeah, I just think it was a lot to say in this track that I don't think it heightened the competition. I think it just heightened the speculation and shock value of what could be. And I think that, you know, given the fact that Kendrick Lamar already has a response, I think he'll have another response. I think we'll start to get things quicker to sort of get this thing out of the way already. But you know, I think that in order for it really to, you know, even come to a point where one side questions itself, I think Drake has to get lyrical. And I don't really, like, there's nothing Kendrick Lamar could do. And anything that the other side thinks that he's not doing is just due to their lack of willingness to understand how great of an artist Kendrick Lamar is in the domain of the competition of rap and hip hop. He's been doing it. He's always done it. You know, we've seen it and we've heard it in the music. And that's just been the one aspect from Drake that we haven't gotten. And even like in being objective relative to the response that Drake is giving, like, I'll just ask the question, is the response Drake garnered and what it alluded to, did it add to the rap beef? Did it really give him any points in the rap beef? I get the stance of the fact that it further attempts to illegitimize Kendrick the same way he was illegitimized, based on his cultural significance. But you know, it just really draws one to question when a lot of the statements that you were making were pretty strong, right? And it wasn't even necessarily like, I mean, I don't know, like, it really got personal, it really got real, it really got heavy. And you know, if I was or being an objective orator here, it's just, okay, he gave you something. I don't really think that it was something different from what you already gave. It was just a little bit more revealing, I guess. And I guess that is more. But rapping ability wise, it didn't do anything. Right? I mean, we're looking at this not for your ability to necessarily, not necessarily like to, I don't know, it's rap beef, right? I can't really put parameters on it, but there has to be some level of appreciation in the word saying. And when all you're doing is shock value, shock value, shock value, and simple bars, when you're a rapper and, as mentioned, you can be lyrical, why not beat that man at his own game instead of continue to play your own while it gets old? But the same could be said for Kendrick, right? You're lyrical. Where's the shock value? Even though in much of what he's saying, I believe there's all of these elements. which is why I don't believe that there's anything more Kendrick can do to lose besides continuing to do what he's been doing. I feel like Drake has to catch up. Ladies and gentlemen, another night, another day of, man, this weekend is going crazy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just thankful to be a part of it. And I thank you for listening. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. I'm coming at you fast. Ladies and gentlemen. I woke my ass up to do this as soon as I heard the news. And I'll wake my ass up again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Peace.